going on, YouTube? Ledger here once again. This time actually again with some Genshin Impact. Yes, we're back talking about Genshin Impact right now. For now, of course. And I wanted to get out my thoughts when it comes to Fontaine. Fontaine is right around the corner. It's in 3 weeks or so. Maybe even less than that, if I'm correct. It is something that people are anticipating greatly, including me. I can't wait to get into Fontaine and see all the new things and things like that. But I am worried about the region, that whole patch, 4.0 to 5.0. 5.0 sounds crazy to say, but yeah, 4.0 to 5.0. I am worried about that extensive patches for multiple reasons. I wanted to talk about those things and kind of start a conversation and see what you guys feel about it too. So let's talk about it. First, let's talk about the things to look forward to, the positives to look forward to when it comes to Fontaine that I do acknowledge. We're getting a new area. And from what I've seen, this area is probably going to look very beautiful. It's going to be immaculate. Most likely there's going to be a lot of inspiration from Venice. There's going to be all kinds of just beauty when it comes to it. The technological things that they might have. Looks like they're going to have pretty interesting looking NPCs, things like that. Looks like they're doing some upgrades when it comes to a lot of the visuals, right? And I can't wait to see those things. You know, we have the swimming, the underwater travel, so that's going to add a whole nother aspect of things. You know, that's going to be great. The new exploration, the new area is going to be, it's going to look wonderful, right? Including the music, too. I can't wait for that. And there's going to be the new characters that we're getting, you know, based on the trailer that we saw. There's a good amount of characters coming. A lot of them look pretty interesting. It's going to be interesting to see the different dynamics going on. I'm interested in seeing how the Archon is going to operate and so on and so forth. She seems very different than the other Archons. She seems a little bit irresponsible, where the other Archons were all responsible. Venti, somewhat, but whatever, you know.
And just a moment ago, we caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the Sailing Breeze.
And yeah, so there's going to be comes to that too. And also too, the new story. I don't have any complaints about what I think the new story is going to be. I think the new story is going to be great. I can't wait to see what's going to be coming. We are getting to the latter half of Genshin, so we're probably going to start seeing some stakes really getting ranking up. We're going to be seeing a lot of new things. We're going to be seeing a lot of interesting things when it comes to the story. I can't wait. You know, we might not just see Arlie Sheen. We're probably going to be seeing other people. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great, right? But then why make a video talking about me being worried about Fontaine if we have so many new things to look forward to? Well, let's get into that. Now, let's talk about these positives that I said, right? We're getting this new exploration. We're getting this new area, right? But let me think. We have been getting new areas consistently. If we look, every single patch we've been getting, even all the way from Inazuma days, we have been getting periodically new area after new area. Whether it's Enkanomiya, we got Chasm, we got all these different places to look forward to. We got the rainforest, we got the desert. After the desert, we got some more desert, and after that desert, we got some more desert, and after that, we got some more desert. We got a lot of new area to go over right there. So when we get a new area that is Fontaine, yeah, it's going to be different visually, but is it really going to be different than the new content that we usually do get? I mean, I'm going to say there's some differences when it comes to that, because we are going to be, when you're getting a new region, there's going to be a little bit more spice added to the exploration, of course. But the fact of the matter is, we understand the cycle of getting new exploration. People are excited about the new exploration, we check it out, and after a few weeks, we're done. You know, we explored what we could. You know, some people 100%, some people stay at 70, some people, you know, just get their fill when it comes to the new area, when it comes to the visuals. Swimming is going to be a whole other thing, but I feel that people are going to get used to swimming, whether they like it or not. They're going to get used to swimming within a couple months. Like a couple months by 4.1, 4.2, swimming isn't a big deal anymore, especially with the fact that I don't really believe it's going to be much underwater combat. It's not like you're going to be switching through your team members, doing different reactions under the water and stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. If they do, that's wonderful. But I don't think we're going to be getting that much in depth when it comes to underwater. So I think within a couple months, that's going to get pretty old. Because like, imagine if they really do go in depth with that and we start getting underwater, abyss levels and things like that. I don't think we're going to go down that route. That'd be pretty cool, but I don't think it's going to happen. When it comes to new exploration that we have, I don't think that's going to be enough to really carry the new version. Then we have the different characters, right? Now the characters look interesting at first hand, of course. But what happens when we pull for those characters? When it comes to how they're going to operate? Because my main issue with the new characters is, why pull for them? Why do I need to pull for them besides just collecting them? Past collection, what reason do I have for them? Because you have Yelan right here, right? Yelan, I got her because she was, in my eyes, she was a better Xingqiu. She was a variation of Xingqiu that I could use. She enabled, double hydro comps and things like that. I don't have to explain why Yelan was a valuable unit, why it'd be worth having her. Then you have somebody like Al-Haytham. Al-Haytham was another character who he was the first straight up Dendro DPS, right? So I had a reason to pull for him. We had Kuki, the first electro healer. You have a reason to pull for her, things like that. But now when we come to Fontaine, we have a lot of the bases covered. We don't need a hydro healer. We have one. We have two. We don't need a hydro DPS. We have two. We don't need a hydro sub DPS. We have that covered. We have these things covered. The only thing we don't have is a hydro shielder, but who cares when the hydro healer can do so good? So it's like, what do we need? What do we need more of? So in terms of efficiency, when it comes to, trying to make the smart decision, because let's look at the first character that we have coming, Lenny, right? He's the first 5-star that we have coming. If you don't look at the league, things like that, then, well, I'm about to give you a little snippet of what he does. But Lenny is a 5-star Pyro Archer DPS. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? That's why I have zero hype for Lenny, because I have that base covered. We have, 4 or 5 Pyro DPSs already. Most of them are 4 or 5-star DPSs. We have a Pyro Archer already. We don't. I have that base covered. So it kind of comes down to, it's like, well, do I have a true incentive to get Lenny? Is he that much different than what we already have? And what about the other characters? Is there going to be anything that much different? I have faith in the Archon, but when it comes to all the other characters, what are they really going to introduce? I did have some faith when it comes to other characters, but when we're starting with Lenny, it kind of crushes my hopes a little bit because he's not different. He's not that different. He's a Pyro Archer DPS. I mean, of course, he has different intricacies, things like that. He does charge attacks, but that's also like Ganyu and Tanari, When it comes to these things, it does worry me a bit. It does worry me that we're not going to have anything fresh when it comes to different characters. And then in terms of the story, well, I don't have any complaints about the story. I think the story is going to be fantastic. There's no negative for there. I think the story is going to be great. I think it's going to carry. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm going to play Fontaine all the way through, because I am interested in the story and I think it's going to be great. So there's really no worry there, right? But the fact of the matter is, past that, outside the story, when it comes to the actual gameplay, I don't think there's going to be, I'm also aware that there's no new, mechanics, essential, core changes to the game that's going to add that new freshness to it. Because if we look back, right? If we look back at, we got Monster and Liyue, which the game released on, so it added a whole new game with that. Then we got Inazuma, right? What did Inazuma add? It was the first new major region that we ever got added to the game, right? So we were anticipating that. If you remember, from 1.0 to 1.2, we didn't get any electro characters added to the game. We had the electro characters that we started with, and we didn't get added any more. To the point where people thought it was story relevant that we didn't get any electro character. We didn't get anything. Not until Inazuma, then we started to get electro characters. So that was a whole nother thing. We finally got to really fully experience electro. So that was another thing that was added to the game, right? So when Inazuma was added, it was fresh, and then we started getting periodic regions added too. So it was fresh. 1.2.0, 2.3, we had something to do. Like, it was new, it was fresh. Our attention was kept. Then we got Sumeru. Sumeru had Dendro. Sumeru looked fantastic when it came to that. Adding a whole new element to the game where it just changed the different teams that we use, the different reactions, things like that. And that was enough to give us a good year's worth of content. It was enough to do that because there's so many changes. And then when a character gets added, that's a whole new archetype. We needed a Dendro DPS. We needed a Dendro healer. We needed a Dendro sub DPS. We needed these different things. So we were able to keep coming back for more, and it felt fresh every single time. Yeah, but now when it comes to Fontaine, what are we gonna get? What new mechanic are we gonna get? Swimming? Swimming isn't gonna last that long. As I said, it's probably gonna last us a couple months. So what new mechanic is gonna, because I've asked people, and they might not think that swimming's gonna last that long. I did have somebody that did say, like, oh yeah, swimming lasts us a year. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. So I am worried about that. So it just worries me that we don't have enough fresh things coming to Fontaine. And a lot of people don't want to hear this because they're in their hype, they're in their joy when it comes to Fontaine. That's okay. You know, I'm excited for Fontaine too. I'm going to be playing it. I'm not trying to just be some naysayer that's playing Star Rail now and I want to trash Genshin now. No, that's not it. I love Genshin. Like, even though I love Star Rail a lot and I love playing Star Rail more than I like playing Genshin at this point in time, I did love Genshin more at the height of everything. So I accept that. Like, I understand, you know, Genshin is a wonderful game. But because it's wonderful, I do sometimes worry of things that aren't going to go the best way that I think they can go, right? And we got to keep, and speaking of Star Rail, Genshin does have competition, not just Star Rail because it's the same company anyway, but, you know, new games are coming out. People have options, you know, Genshin does have competition. So it does make me worry that, like, if they're not coming out full force with something new, something bright, something new, exciting, then Fontaine could essentially be a flop. Now, a Genshin flop still looks very successful. They're still going to be making millions on each character. But it is still going to be a negative when they're comparing to their previous performances. Unless I am missing something, unless something new is added, you know, there could be something that's bright and fantastic that they've kept a secret from us. But the fact of the matter is, I don't see it yet, and that worries me. I do hope that they do add something. But those are just different things that I want to bring to the attention of people. Try and start a discussion, see what other people think about these things. Because I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I don't see a lot of people saying these different things that they might be worried about when it comes to Fontaine. It's just pure hype, and that's okay. But I do want to bring these things, attention to these things. And also, too, I'm hoping that maybe somebody can come into the comment section and kind of ease my worries a little bit, too. Because I do want Genshin to be more successful and be the greatness that I think that it has the potential to be. All right? But let me know what you guys think. Comment your thoughts down below. This is a discussion. Let me know what you guys think there. Subscribe to the channel so you get more content like this, where we talk about Genshin, we talk about Star Rail. Because trust and believe, in 3 weeks when Fontaine's coming, I am going to be making some Genshin content, you know. But I'm not going to be missing Kafka for nothing. So I'm going to be talking about Kafka when she comes too. So keep in mind, just all that content you're going to get, subscribe to the channel so you can get that. Like the video if you like the content. And with that, I'll end it here. Let you know.